Hey everyone, Dr. Mike here. Today I want to talk directly to our seniors about a hidden risk in your diet. Certain vegetables you think are healthy may actually harm your heart. As we age, our bodies change, and some foods that were once fine can now increase your risk for heart disease. It's not just about avoiding junk food. Some common vegetables, depending on how they're prepared, can raise blood pressure and inflammation. In this video, I'll reveal 5 vegetables you need to be cautious about, explain the science, and show you how to protect your heart without sacrificing nutrition. Your heart deserves specific care. What you learn today could be life-changing. Let's get started. Let's start with potatoes. They're a familiar sight on dinner tables around the world, a comfort food for many. But before we dive into a plate of fries or a mound of mashed potatoes, let's take a closer look at how these seemingly innocent spuds can impact your heart health, especially as you get older. Potatoes are a staple in many diets, a go-to side dish, and a quick and easy meal option. They're versatile, filling, and relatively inexpensive, making them a popular choice for families and individuals alike. But are they really as good for you as you might think? The main issue? What is it about potatoes that makes them a potential concern for heart health, particularly for seniors? It's not necessarily the potato itself, but rather how it affects our bodies and how we typically prepare and consume it. Potatoes have a high glycemic index, meaning they are rapidly converted into glucose in the body. This rapid conversion can lead to a cascade of effects that can negatively impact your cardiovascular system. This high glycemic index causes rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. The body has to work hard to process this sudden surge of glucose, and over time, this can lead to problems. For seniors, these spikes can lead to a range of health issues, exacerbating existing conditions and increasing the risk of developing new ones. It's crucial to understand the potential consequences. These spikes can contribute to inflammation throughout the body, insulin resistance, where cells become less responsive to insulin, requiring the body to produce even more. All of these factors contribute to a higher risk of heart disease, the leading cause of death for seniors. It's a serious concern that warrants careful consideration. And let's face it, most people eat potatoes fried, often in unhealthy oils that are high in trans fats. This adds another layer of risk to an already problematic food. Or they're mashed with butter, cream, and other high-fat ingredients, turning a simple vegetable into a calorie-laden, artery-clogging dish. And often, they're loaded with salt, further contributing to high blood pressure and other cardiovascular problems. The sodium content can quickly add up. These common preparations add unhealthy fats and sodium, transforming a relatively simple food into a potential health hazard. It's a recipe for disaster for your heart. Even baked potatoes, often touted as a healthier option, can be problematic. They're often topped with butter, sour cream, cheese, and other high-fat, high-calorie additions, negating any potential health benefits. So, even seemingly healthy preparations can be a problem if you're not careful about what you add to them. These combinations create a double whammy effect on your heart health, increasing your risk of cardiovascular problems. The high glycemic index leads to high blood sugar, putting stress on your body and increasing inflammation. And the added fats, especially saturated fat, contribute to plaque buildup in your arteries. Over time, this combination damages arteries, making them less flexible and more prone to blockages. It encourages plaque buildup, narrowing the arteries and restricting blood flow to vital organs. And it raises blood pressure, further straining your cardiovascular system and increasing your risk of heart attack and stroke. It's also important to be aware that processed foods often contain hidden potato starch, used as a filler or thickener. So always check labels carefully to identify hidden sources of potato starch and make informed choices about what you're eating. If you must eat potatoes, and sometimes the craving is just too strong to resist, keep portions small to minimize the impact on your blood sugar and overall health. And choose plain, boiled potatoes, which are lower in fat and calories than fried or mashed versions. Or steamed potatoes, another healthy preparation method that avoids adding extra fats or sodium. And skip the fatty toppings like butter, sour cream, and cheese. Instead, opt for healthier alternatives like herbs, spices, or a small amount of olive oil. Think of potatoes more like bread or pasta, a starchy carbohydrate that should be consumed in moderation. They're a starchy carb to eat in moderation, not something you should be piling high on your plate at every meal. They're not a free pass vegetable that you can eat unlimited quantities of without consequences. For heart health, how you prepare your potatoes is just as important as how often you eat them. And how often you eat potatoes matters most. Consider them an occasional treat rather than a daily staple. Visualize your arteries and the impact that your food choices have on them. Sugar spikes cause rust, damaging the delicate lining of your arteries and contributing to inflammation. And unhealthy fats add gunk, contributing to plaque buildup and narrowing your arteries. Potatoes in popular forms contribute to both of these damaging processes, increasing your risk of heart disease. Reframe potatoes in your mind. Think of them as a treat to be enjoyed occasionally, not a dietary staple. Remember, not all vegetables are created equal. Some are more nutritious and beneficial for your heart health than others. For seniors, limiting potatoes and making conscious choices about how you prepare them is crucial for maintaining a healthy heart. Avoiding unhealthy preparations like frying and loading them with butter and cheese is essential for protecting your cardiovascular system. Making these simple changes is a key step for a healthier heart and a longer, more fulfilling life. Make conscious choices about your potato consumption and preparation methods. Your heart will thank you for prioritizing its health and making informed decisions about your diet. Let's talk about a seemingly harmless kitchen staple that might be posing a hidden risk to your heart health: canned tomatoes. We often reach for them without a second thought, but it's crucial to understand the potential downsides, especially as we get older. Tomatoes themselves, in their natural state, are nutritional powerhouses, packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and other compounds that are incredibly beneficial for cardiovascular health. They're a fantastic source of lycopene, which has been linked to a reduced risk of heart disease. However, the canning process can introduce some unwanted elements. The can itself can be the source of the problem. One of the primary concerns with canned tomatoes is their often surprisingly high sodium content. Many brands add significant amounts of salt as a preservative and flavor enhancer. This is especially risky for seniors, who are often more susceptible to the negative effects of excess sodium. High sodium intake can lead to elevated blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating sodium levels. Our kidneys, which play a crucial role in filtering out excess sodium, may struggle to keep up, leading to a buildup of sodium in the bloodstream. This can result in water retention, causing swelling in the hands, feet, and ankles. And of course, it contributes to higher blood pressure, putting extra strain on your heart. It's easy to underestimate how much sodium you're getting from canned tomatoes. Just one serving, which might seem like a small amount, whether it's diced tomatoes or a simple tomato sauce, can easily contain a third or more of your recommended daily sodium limit. That limit, by the way, is generally around 2,300 milligrams for healthy adults, and even less for those with high blood pressure. Chronic high sodium intake over time silently damages your heart and arteries, increasing your risk of heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems. But the sodium content isn't the only thing to be aware of. There's another potential issue: BPA or bisphenol A. BPA is a chemical commonly used in the lining of many food and beverage cans, and it can leach into acidic foods like tomatoes, especially during storage. Studies have suggested that BPA exposure may affect heart health and potentially disrupt hormone function. Seniors, with their potentially reduced detoxification capabilities, are often more vulnerable to these effects of both high sodium and BPA exposure. So what can you do? Don't be fooled by seemingly healthy labels like all natural. Always take the time to carefully check the sodium content on the nutrition label. When possible, choose no salt added varieties. Opt for low sodium canned tomatoes whenever you can find them. But even better yet, try to incorporate fresh tomatoes or those packaged in glass jars, which don't have BPA linings. Cooking with fresh tomatoes not only enhances the flavor of your meals, but also gives you complete control over the amount of salt you add. Plus, you completely avoid the risk of BPA exposure. Remember, sodium intake can add up surprisingly fast throughout the day. A bowl of canned tomato soup for lunch, followed by pasta with canned tomato sauce for dinner, can easily push you over your recommended daily limit, even if you're not adding extra salt to your meals. So the key takeaway here is this: be mindful and wary of canned tomatoes and their potential impact on your heart health. Always read labels carefully, paying close attention to the sodium content and the packaging material, and whenever possible, prioritize fresh options and other alternatives. These small changes can make a big difference in protecting your heart and overall well-being as you age. Celery seems like the perfect healthy snack. It's crunchy, refreshing, and often touted as a low-calorie option. Many of us reach for it without a second thought, assuming it's a guilt-free choice. We see it paired with healthy dips, adding to its virtuous image. But before you grab another stalk, let's take a closer look, because it hides a salty secret. While it's true that celery offers some nutritional benefits like vitamins and fiber, it also contains a surprising amount of sodium, especially when compared to other vegetables. This hidden sodium can be a concern, particularly for seniors who are watching their salt intake. Compared to other veggies like leafy greens or even carrots, celery is naturally high in sodium. It's not added during processing, it's just part of its inherent composition. This natural sodium content is something to be aware of, especially if you're trying to manage your sodium levels. One large stalk, which might seem like a small and insignificant snack, has about 50 milligrams. That might not sound like much, but it can add up quickly. And most people eat several at a time, often without even realizing how much sodium they're consuming. It's easy to munch on a few stalks while watching TV or preparing a meal, especially with salty dips like ranch, blue cheese, or even hummus, which can significantly increase the overall sodium content of your snack. These dips often contain high levels of sodium to enhance their flavor. For seniors, who are often more susceptible to the effects of sodium, even natural sources of sodium matter, because as we age, our bodies change. Since our bodies become less efficient at regulating fluid balance and filtering out excess sodium, this can lead to increased blood pressure and other health complications at handling salt. So, even seemingly small amounts of sodium from sources like celery can have a greater impact. Pairing celery with high sodium dips is a common practice, but it's one that can quickly derail your efforts to maintain a healthy sodium intake. It can turn a healthy snack, something you thought was good for you, into a sodium bomb. Suddenly, that innocent-looking celery stick is contributing significantly to your daily sodium limit. If you're on a low-sodium diet, perhaps due to doctor's orders or personal preference, celery can quickly eat up a significant portion of your daily allowance, leaving you with less room for other foods. The sodium in celery, while naturally occurring, like in canned foods or processed snacks, raises blood pressure, especially in those who are sensitive to sodium, and strains your heart, putting extra stress on your cardiovascular system. Celery is also a natural diuretic, meaning it helps your body get rid of excess water, which can complicate things and potentially interfere for those on blood pressure meds, as it can affect the medication's effectiveness. If you crave that satisfying crunch, that refreshing snap, try cucumber, which is incredibly hydrating and low in sodium. Bell pepper, with its vibrant colors and crisp texture, or jicama instead, a root vegetable with a slightly sweet and nutty flavor. They're much lower in sodium, making them excellent alternatives for those watching their intake. This isn't about demonizing celery or saying it's an unhealthy food altogether. It's about being smart with your choices and understanding the nutritional content of what you're eating. For seniors with hypertension or other health conditions, celery should be eaten in moderation as part of a balanced diet and counted toward your daily sodium total, especially if you're tracking your intake. Always consider what you're dipping it in, as that can significantly impact the overall sodium content. And don't assume all veggies are free foods. It's always a good idea to check the nutrition labels. Be mindful of your sodium intake. Your blood pressure and your heart will thank you for it. Pickled vegetables like pickled sauerkraut and kimchi are loaded with salt. The pickling process relies on brine, making these foods extremely high in sodium. A single large pickle can contain your entire daily sodium limit. For seniors, this can cause dangerous spikes in blood pressure and put immediate stress on the heart. Even fermented pickled foods, while good for gut health, come with a sodium cost that outweighs the benefits for those with hypertension. Many commercial pickled products also contain additives and preservatives. If you love pickled foods, make your own at home with less salt. Think of sodium as a strict budget. One pickle can blow it for the whole day. For most seniors, it's best to move pickled vegetables from snack to avoid. Read every label and remember, pickled almost always means high sodium. This simple change can have a big impact on your heart health. Finally, let's talk about eggplant. The concern here isn't sodium or sugar, but inflammation. Eggplant is a nightshade, and for some people, compounds in nightshades can trigger inflammation, especially if you have arthritis or similar conditions. Chronic inflammation damages arteries and raises heart disease risk. While most people tolerate nightshades well, if you notice joint pain or fatigue after eating eggplant, pay attention. Preparation matters too. Eggplant soaks up oil, and fried or breaded eggplant dishes are loaded with unhealthy fats and salt. If you suspect sensitivity, try eliminating nightshades for a few weeks and see if symptoms improve. If you're fine with eggplant, choose healthier cooking methods like roasting or grilling with a little olive oil. Listen to your body. Nutrition is personal. For those sensitive to nightshades, avoiding eggplant may help protect your heart and joints. For everyone else, focus on healthy preparation and moderation. We've covered how potatoes, canned tomatoes, celery, pickled veggies, and eggplant can pose hidden risks for seniors' heart health. The key is understanding why and making informed choices. Always consult your doctor or dietitian before making big dietary changes. Use this information as a starting point for a conversation about your health. Your heart matters. Make smart, personalized choices. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share with others who could benefit. Your engagement helps us spread important health messages. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay healthy.